Hey everyone, so I'm going to be talking about some of the Pokemon that I found to be the most interesting from the data mine of the 1997 Pokemon Gold and Silver beta version that was available as a demo in the Space World 1997 Expo. So keep in mind all the sprites you're going to see are very old sprites. So the first one on the list is Monja, and then its evolution of Jaranra, which these two Pokemon are a pre-evolution and a further evolution of Tangela, one of our Gen 1 Pokemon. Monja looks pretty cool. I like the design. I like that it's got like less of a mop top to it than its, evolutions. It kind of seems like an oddish with one eye that has, I guess, seaweed for hair. And then Jaranra looks very different from what we would expect of Tanglegrowth. This is just the early design. You can see like a smile behind an unusual haircut. Obviously we know Tanglegrowth looks a lot different, but still I thought these two were very cool and I just wanted to talk about them. Next we have Meowth. Meowth, or Koonya as it's called. This Pokemon is a pre-evolution of Meowth, and I kind of believe that it had a split evolution based on its gender. I believe that Meowth and then Persian were supposed to all be male, whereas if it was a female, it would have evolved into Rinrin. Now, I only believe that this is true because Meowth having a whiter coat and being based off the fortune cat that you see many times in Chinese restaurants, it makes sense to me that the black cat, and being female only, evolved from Koonya, because again it's a female only Pokemon, and then there is a black cat version of the fortune cat. So I have to believe that this was an intended split evolution. I realize some of the data mines haven't really supported this idea. This is my theory, but when you look into the fact that Beryrun also evolves at level 28 from Rinrin, much like how I believe Meowth evolves at level 28 into Persian, this makes a lot of sense to me. And the fact that they're dark types, it makes me kind of wonder if they went back to the idea of this dark type Meowth for the Alolan form Meowth, and this means we'll probably never get Rinrin. Next, we have Animon. Animon is the evolved form of Madaamu, who we all know is Ditto. Animon's design, it's kind of suggestive given Ditto's history as being a breeding Pokemon only. Not many people, I believe, use it in battle. I'm sure some people do. But given that this is Ditto, if you would have traded it holding a metal coat, it would have became this. I have no idea what they would have even called this, because Ditto, the Japanese name Metamon, Metamorphosis Monster, Ditto, what, is a further Ditto? Like, would it be, I can't even imagine what the name for Animon would have been. Animon would be Ditto's older brother, Animon, right? So that's how that goes. But, so why make Ditto into a steel type? Why even bother changing it when it can transform into any Pokemon? It'll assume their type. Why isn't normal good enough? Well, in RPG terms, there's usually a liquid metal monster that you get a lot of XP from battling. And if you were to battle wild Animons, I would have to assume that they'd be great for XP. But this is just assuming that it's akin to the slimes from Dragon Warrior and the such. Next we have Tsuinz, right? I actually didn't think anything of this Pokemon at first. I thought it was weird that we had like two ghost forms with hands, but then when it's revealed that it evolves into Girafarig, like, whoa. So Girafarig would have had a pre-evolved form, but the thing of it is, Tsuinz isn't a ghost. It's a dark normal type. And then Girafarig itself looks the same forward and backwards. Well, then again, its name is a palindrome because it's spelled forwards and backwards, so it makes more sense than, if it's, design that went through to the full version. Well, I actually like this form of Girafarig a little bit better. I don't know if I would have picked it. I think I did. I do kind of like this just because it matches the name, but moreover, I like that it's a dark type. I actually thought Girafarig was a dark type, but in the final version, it is of course a psychic type. Then there's Politoed. Now, Politoed, this version of Politoed, and it would have evolved with the Hearthstone, much like Espeon would have evolved with the Hearthstone, but Politoed evolves with the Hearthstone instead of the King's Rock, which maybe that was a running name change. Yeah, it's way different. Like, it has the Poliwhirl swirl on its belly. We can see that it's more, you know, Toad-like, whereas, well, I mean, Politoed's Toad-like, but it doesn't have that signature hair. Apparently, for the final design of Politoed, that one single long hair that curls off its head is a symbol of it being a king, which I have seen other Toads in other, like, games and mythologies where that having that single hair made them so much more special than the others, and I guess that's why they had that running change. Although this one, design-wise, isn't very aesthetic, it's just like an egg frog thing, and I'm glad that they made the change. Umbreon would have evolved with the Poison Stone. In fact, that's how Blossom would have evolved as well, with the Poison Stone, but instead, obviously, we went with Friendship at Night. But the thing about Umbreon is, this sprite isn't any different than the one that we saw in Gold and Silver. But the thing of it is, Umbreon was a poison type, not a dark type. That's kind of crazy, but then again, in the Pokedex, we know that its body secretes sweat that is very poisonous to other Pokemon, and it can use this toxic gas to protect itself. It always made me think Umbreon was based more off of a skunk than a fox, but, you know, I just thought it was interesting that they, instead of being poison, they went the other way and made it dark, which, instead of being very weak to psychics, now it takes no damage from them. Taabn, or Taabn? This Pokemon I think a lot of people had a lot of special interest in, simply because it's what Shellder turns into when it leaves Slowpoke's tail. I almost had to wonder if there was any correlation saying that, you know, there are some Shelders that detach from their Slowpokes, or perhaps this Pokemon would have been made available or made sense because we know that Team Rocket was going and cutting the tails off of Slowpokes and selling them as snacks, which I can't imagine what kind of a delicacy that even is. But maybe this would have made sense if they went after a Slowbro and cut its tail off. Obviously, the Shellder would have detached from the tail, and we don't know if de-evolution is a thing or not in the Pokemon world, but we can honestly say that the Shellder would have stayed evolved, and here would have been the proof. It is indeed a water type, but there's no information on it beyond that, at least not at this time. I, for one, would have liked to have seen this Pokemon, even if it was just, you know, an alternate form for Shellder, but maybe they couldn't do that with the limited technology that they had. Kotora, I actually really like this one. I don't understand why Kotora did not get into the final version. I mean, it's a very cute looking Pokemon. It's got a nice design. The tiger stripes are excellent. I mean, what is there not to like? What is not, you know, bad? Like, there's nothing bad about this Pokemon, even its evolved form of Raitora, even though it just looks like it's leaping now instead of being evolved, but it is bigger. Even so, like, I like this Pokemon. I think it's a great looking monster. Like, I don't see why these ones didn't make it into the final version. Maybe they felt it being too much cuter than Pikachu or something of the sort. Maybe they just didn't want a tiger Pokemon. Who knows? Now this one I found to be interesting as well. Madaamu, or Madaamu. It's the evolved form of Farfetch'd, and it would have evolved at level 24, which is very interesting because Farfetch'd never evolved at all, and there was no special means behind this evolution. So the fact that Farfetch'd would have just evolved naturally at level 24 is a very interesting thing. I actually think this design was later used for Swanna because they look very similar, and to be honest, a lot of people said maybe this went on to be Lugia, but no, I don't think so. Even though they do share some designs with the mask-like portion over the eyes, and even the wings are similar. I just can't see Lugia being evolved out, but like design-wise taking the path from being a dragon to a duck. But hey, anything's possible on that part of the design team. I'm also curious as to what Madaamu's weapon is. Is it like an iron rod? Did it get an antenna off a car? Like, what is it? Is it a different kind of onion? Because I think a leek is an onion? I'm not sure. But in any case, I'm very curious about what its weapon is and what it could have been. Norowara and Kyopan. These Pokemon evolve, like, Norowara evolves into Kyopan. How does Voodoo Doll, and it says it evolves at level 1, at least that's what I read, that's what the Dynamiter found. So, it evolves from Voodoo Doll into Police Puppy? Or Panda Police? Like, what? Like, I'm so kind of wondering what the origin and what this is based off of. I honestly don't get it. Maybe it was, like, a misread or something, but this thing, like, it is so... And Norowara is definitely Nightmare Fuel. I can almost see why they didn't want to put it in the main, like, in the original, in the final version, but wow. Then, next we have Urufuman, and its evolved form of Waaurufu, which I guess they're going for Wolfman and Werewolf. I always have to believe that these were later turned into Swinub and Piloswine because they are ice types. And just the fact that they're very, very hairy, and that's one of the signature things of the Piloswine and the Swinub family, is that they're very furry pigs, even though these ones aren't pigs. But still, again, this is a Pokemon that I had to wonder why it didn't make it into the final version. It looks like, you know, a cutesy monster, and then it evolves into a more ferocious fighting thing. It's still got a nice look to it. And also, people do like, you know, like, it's adorable is what it is, so I don't understand why these ones didn't make it in. But as ice types, I really have to wonder, like, I guess we would have found these on the ice path, or perhaps, I kind of want to believe that Waaurufu would have been Price? Is it Price? The ice type gym's main Pokemon. It just looks like something a gym leader would have, and I really do like its design, and I wish it would have made it into the final version. As a final thought, I have to wonder if the Space World demo being leaked is an inkling to anything, given how many Pokemon in it have pre-evolutions and further evolutions that were scrapped. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Make sure to give this video a like, do subscribe, and check out my other videos in the right hand column. As always, thank you for watching.